Welcome to Upstock's Cric Index presents Reverse Sweep. And much like last time, we'll look at players like we do at assets, who's gone up, who's gone down, who's had a good week, who's struggled a little bit, and we'll look at all that through the prism of our Upstock Cric Index. It's quite simple actually. We've looked at various parameters like batting average, strike rate, economy rate, strike rate, and we've put all that together after having analyzed the data for the past 3 years and pitted that against a player's acquisition price, the auction price, the retention price, for example, and arrived at a very simple return on investment index so that everybody literally is on one line and marked out of 10. तो देखिए क्रिकेट एनालाइज करने का कितना सिंपल तरीका. तो चलो स्टार्ट करके देखें. So of all the matches played this week, which one have I selected as the match of the week? I looked at the super over game, Hyderabad versus Delhi. Super over is always drama, but it wasn't quite there. Then there was the Jadeja performance in the Chennai versus Bangalore game, a once in a season performance almost. But the game just petered off after that. And that's why the game that I have selected as the game of the week was Delhi versus Bangalore, because it had so many elements in it. AB de Villiers, once again, it's always de Villiers for Bangalore. 75 of 42 was another magical innings. They look like they may be falling short, and then he takes 23 of the last over from Marcus Stoinis. Why does Stoinis bowl only the last over? These are some of the things that you'll never really understand. And then Delhi look like they're going to fall desperately short. They need, 75 in 6 overs. Shimron Hetmyer has done very little, and there he goes. 1, 2, 3, boom, hits 53 of 25. But look at Rishabh Pant, 58 of 48. But at one point, he was 48 of 45. It came down to 10 of the last 2 balls. Hetmyer said even then he thought it was possible. We were all sitting on the edge of our seats. It was one of those tournament classics of which you get maybe 3 or 4 at most in a year, and that is why I absolutely enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for AB, I enjoyed it for Hetmyer, I enjoyed it for the human frailties, and I enjoyed it for the pressure that there was on a young captain, and all that followed at the end. It was a wonderful match. We also have the Upstock's Cric Index Spotlight, where we track players much like you track assets, some going up, some going down over a week, and we look at various parameters, batting, bowling, even fielding, to arrive at a performance efficiency index, everyone on a scale of 10. So let's see who's been up, who's been down. Let's look at all the batsmen first, and we've looked at the Batsman Leader board today, and you'll see some really familiar faces there. Faf du Plessis, AB de Villiers, good to see Manish Pandey after an iffy season come in there. Just a little bit of growth there, but still a good asset. Good to see Sanju Samson there, but the 3 names I enjoyed in that. Prithvi Shaw, we're going to see a lot more of him. Devdutt Padikkal and Shimron Hetmyer. A little dip there for KL Rahul, but he's too good a player. I would stay with KL Rahul. But who are the players of the week? Who are the players in the spotlight, players that I genuinely enjoyed? And I'm looking at the bowlers, and there were so many bowlers who were wonderful assets for their team. There's Kyle Jamieson, there's Mohammad Siraj, there's Chetan Sakaria. But I've looked at the efficiency parameters and added a little qualitative judgment to arrive at 2 players. And I'm looking first of all at Avesh Khan. I've enjoyed watching Avesh Khan this time because he's in a team that had so many fast bowlers, the cream of all the fast bowlers. And yet Avesh Khan gets given the new ball, he does the job, he comes in the middle overs, he takes wickets, and then he comes and bowls at the death as well. And look at the growth there, 493 on the Upstock's Cric Index. And that's also because his acquisition price was very low, but that rating has absolutely zoomed. And I have no doubt we're going to see a lot more of Avesh Khan. Now, my second choice, even though on the performance index he's not gone up as much as some of the others, is actually Rahul Chahar. He's got a decent acquisition price, but the qualitative judgment I've used there is that so often he comes in when wickets haven't fallen. You see 29.3%, you'd say, yeah, good growth. There've been someone like Jamieson who's been far more dramatic. But Chahar comes in soon after the power play. It's amazing how often you don't even realize it. He's one of those that flies under the radar, but he's constantly picking up 3, picking up 4. And I think he's been fantastic for Mumbai this year. So those were the two. As I said, we looked at the performance parameters and then added a little qualitative judgment on top of that. Now, what about a little drop? Now, there's a player I like very much, but I've often used the word plateau for him. And let's look at what Yuzvendra Chahal did. When you're the lead India bowler for your franchise and you're a wrist spinner, you're expected to deliver 4 overs. You're the 4-over bank for your team. But we've seen with Chahal on more than one occasion that Kohli hasn't used him for the entire 4 overs, sometimes only 2 overs. You could say it was the due, but you want a lot more. And he's down 27%, also largely because he's a very expensive player. The rating is pretty good already, but the rating has dropped a little bit. And I want, as the tournament progresses and the tracks get a little drier, I want to see a lot more of Yuzvendra Chahal. There you are. That was our Upstocks Cric Index Spotlight. Our moment of the week, what is it going to be? Is it going to be Kane Williamson involved, or rather his team involved in another super over, finishing on the losing side? No. The moment of the week is always positive. And I'm going back to the Delhi-Bangalore game. There's so much drama, so much emotion. 2 young players have taken their side to the brink and just fallen short. And as soon as the last ball is bowled, Virat Kohli is going across and having a word with Rishabh Pant. But to me, the moment was that wholehearted hug from Mohammad Siraj to Shimron Hetmyer. Boy from Hyderabad, a boy from Guyana, playing on opposite sides, but all brought together within the drama of a game. Everyone tries their best. Hetmyer trying to hit a 6, Siraj trying to get a wicket. Once it's all over, it's a game, and they hugged and they had a good time. And to me, that is what sport is all about. There's ups and downs on the points table as well. So let's see where we are. And if you're a Bangalore fan, take a screenshot, make a poster, put it up, do what you want. If you're a Chennai fan, you're going to enjoy watching this too, because Chennai is up there, Delhi is up there, Bangalore is up there, and Mumbai has just started to simmer below. You know, the first little bubbles that come in before the boiling. But if you're a fan of Kolkata, Punjab, Rajasthan, down there, or Hyderabad, especially a team that I like, then you have a bit of a worry. But as usual, there's games to look forward to, and I'm looking forward to one really big one. In Delhi, where we've got different kind of pitches, not those slow sluggish. I always tell you, you never know what to expect in Delhi. Now we've got a small ground, lots of runs, and I'm looking forward to Mumbai versus Chennai. It's always the big game of the year, isn't it? Mumbai versus Chennai. Both have come off a win. Both have chased 171 in exactly 18.3 overs. Both are flexing their muscles. Chennai have been wonderful this year, far better, in a very different style and far better than they were last year. So you really cannot look further than Mumbai versus Chennai. And in Ahmedabad, where I am, I'm looking forward to Bangalore versus Kolkata. And there's a reason. I had tipped Kolkata to be one of the teams to look forward to this year, but they're going through issues. But I expect a lot of changes in the personnel and in the style as Kolkata start to look at a rearguard action. So I'm looking at Bangalore versus Kolkata in Ahmedabad, and of course I'm looking at Mumbai versus Chennai, this time in Delhi. तो देखा क्रिकेट एनालाइज करने का कितना सिंपल तरीका, all on one scale, and that is what you will see in the following weeks as well, as players go up and down and teams go up and down and the drama continues. We'll monitor all that on the Upstocks Cric Index. And of course, on Upstocks Cric Index presents Reverse Sweep, we'll keep an eye on कौन लाएगा maximum return on investment. So as we head into the next week, चलो start करके देखें.